It's time for Florida State football. This is the Jimbo Fisher Show. The Jimbo Fisher Show is brought to you by the Florida Lottery, over $30 billion and counting to education. Just imagine. The energy-saving conservation programs of Tico People's Gas. Coca-Cola, try a game changer of your own. Taste the feeling. SunTrust, the official bank of Florida State Athletics. Ram, come in and get a great deal on the best trucks during Ram Power Days. And by Nick's Toggery, provider of Coach Fisher's wardrobe.
Hello and welcome to the Jimbo Fisher Show. Tom Block and Coach Fisher. And Coach, this was a tough one, 37-35 as North Carolina wins at the end. But I know as you looked at the tape, there really were several times throughout the game where a play here, a play there, could have spelled the difference.
It always does. In any game you look at, no matter when you win or when you lose. I mean, there's things, everybody goes to the end, but there's plays all throughout the game of situations. And because they change momentum, they change mindset of the game. And both sides had chances, special teams had chances, and we could have done better in all three phases, and we have to. And we have to progress and do that. And then I was proud that, they did battle, they did compete, they had a chance to pull the game out. But at the same time, we can't put ourselves in that predicament. And, from different phases for different reasons. And that's the interesting thing that makes it, as coaching, you always have to look at why things happen. And you got to try to go back and fix them. And sometimes these are whys that we haven't dealt with yet.
You look at the end, and the lead was short-lived for your squad, but you've got a quarterback playing just his fifth game. And not only did he have to go the length of the field, but after some penalties, he had to go 90 yards to get in there to get you the lead.
Yeah, the unfortunate thing is, that's the thing. You don't have sacks, penalties, and turnovers in 2 minutes. And we had 2 penalties right off the bat. They set us back. We had a big completion, did a great job. Then had another penalty, had 3 of the first 4 plays, and overcame that on third down and had big plays, and they got a penalty. And then we got down and were able to get it in the end zone with good execution, good effort of the guys, and they kept their poise as far as that goes in that respect. And he did a good job of managing the clock, managing the game, and getting the ball who he had to, and give us a chance to be successful.
It's not breaking news that Dalvin Cook's a good football player, but I was surprised to see that he's the first player in FSU history to have 100 yards rushing and 100 yards receiving in one football game.
That is interesting. I mean, and we had a little check down route that got him 40 yards on the last one. I mean, it was a third down route. We were working something, and we hit a check down, and it just shows you if you just run your offense and make good decisions, and decision making is a key thing, that good things happen to you. And it wasn't designed to be a big play or anything of that nature, but a lot of your big plays happen a lot of times when you do the right things. But he's a very dynamic player. I mean, he caught some screens. He ran the ball extremely well. I mean, just Dalvin being Dalvin.
We'll take a look at Dalvin being Dalvin and the rest of the highlights from FSU and North Carolina when we come back right here on the Jimbo Fisher Show. Welcome back to the Jimbo Fisher Show. Coach, that September was pretty grueling. It was good to be back at home. Great day for football and a great crowd on hand as North Carolina rolled in for Parents Weekend.
They did. It was a great weekend and great weather. Good crowd. Enthusiasm was good. And we started off here. They hit a kickoff and get it out of the end zone, hit it nice in the corner. That's a really nice kick. And we get it on 25 and open up, hit a nice reverse. Almost pop it. This just gets right in the seam. 2 good blocks there, DeAndre and Freddie. Making a good block. Be careful. That could have been a late hit, tackling completely out of bounds. But we hit a nice counter. Second play, moving the ball extremely well. I mean, right off the bat, changing field position. Even if you don't score, that's one of the things you want to do with your first possession. Hit a nice run up inside. We're down in their territory, moving the ball. At a first down, hit another reverse. If we'd have got that block, that one could have went for about 20. Instead, it goes for about 7 or 8. But still, reverses for that. That's a good play. Then on second down, we had a miscue right there, and didn't get it. Had to end up 3rd and 4, and they covered it down and missed it. And we come in and missed. Ricky had a great week kicking to it. He kicked the ball really well, and just his plant foot was just a little tight and was pulling that thing. We looked at the film. It's a shame, but he was hitting the ball good. Just hitting it to the left. There they go, and they start moving the ball. Kevin the pile. We got to stay on that. We got to knock the pile back. The line of scrimmage has got to go back. Here they're in the screen. Nice job by Matthew Thomas getting out. Good job retracing by DeMarcus Christmas on the alley right there. Here they go with a nice counter play back the other way. We got to fit it. We had to spill it across, and they give us a gap right there. Backers didn't get back over into the gap. Then we get play action. Not bad coverage. A big 6'5" guy, when he gets inside his hands, does a nice job. Here they go. We got pressure. Now, here, what's bad, we had pressure, have a sack. Now, When he scrambles, the backer comes off his guy, and he shouldn't do, and he's got to stay on it until the guy crosses the line of scrimmage, and he tried to make the play, and then they give up a touchdown. All right, now here we go. We get a nice sweep going out the other way. We're moving the ball really well. Got a vertical route down the middle. Great throw and catch. Maven Sanders, as I said, starting to get better and better, and using that big body, catching the ball. Great throw right there by DeAndre. Then we get a nice run inside. We're running it inside, outside. We're mixing passes. We're moving the football very well. Just on some conversion downs here on third down, we just missed the throw. DeAndre's got to make that one. That's one he wish he had back. That's a completable ball right there. And we kicked the ball low. Actually, it was going straight, but they kicked it low. Now, that was actually crazy by them to go pick it up because we could have tackled him back there and gained a lot of field position, but we didn't cover right here. Ricky's got to get outside right there. We can't give up the edge. And a good job by Jack Steed right there to come over and knock the guy out of bounds, and that's a shame. That was just a low kick. It was not much penetration. Here we get the edge. We got to set the edge right here. Trap corner should be coming inside along with 24. We're in cover 2. Those two should trigger right there and be right on it. Here, nice job by Matthew. 5 right there has got to trigger and get inside. Matthew set the edge. The backer didn't get inside out. Here they go inside zone. Nice tackle right there by Dontavius Jack. You're seeing him more and more, though. He's going to be a young player. It's really developing into a good player. Nice job right there by him again. Very physical on a third down stop, or fourth down stop, I believe it was. Inside right there. Really good play. Here DeAndre finds a nice route to Bobo across the middle on a little vertical route. Bobo had some nice catches on the day play. We hit a little naked route here. We're looking down. He comes back, finds his second, third options. Finds a big tight end. Maven Sanders running down the field right there. I picked up about 30 yards. And this is really good. And we hit the inside zone, and we missed the twist block. If the guard and center got to pass that off, that's one that we play pretty well in there in the interior for the most part. This is the disappointing one right here, I believe. We had the snake route thrown right here. Just got to catch it. It's a touchdown. I mean, and Travis, who is our guy, runs great. Tremendous route, tremendous throw. We just didn't finish the play, and that's very uncharacteristic of him. Force another field goal and miss it. 3 missed field goals in the half. 2 of 45 yards and 1 of 52. It was a little longer. That's the one we got blocked, but those are all in his range that he hits every day. But we on offense need to finish those drives. One penalty got us, a drop ball got us on the other, and that's a shame. Now we got out of our gaps here, and they're getting the momentum back. We had chances on offense to change that momentum, and that's the disappointing thing, even though you're moving the football. We weren't putting the defense in bad field position. We need to finish with points and keep it up there. They hit a little screen pass out here. We got to trigger the corner, and we got to spin down 3, or the corner's trapping 3, and we got to step up and get that. Here they get pressure, and on 3rd and 4, we got to get down and cover him tightly on that third down. Now right here, I thought we had a hold call right there. They didn't make it on our guy, and he got the edge as he was trying to get outside, but we still got to trigger and fight through that. They don't call it. That's not a penalty. Here inside, right there, Wally's that's a gap that he loops to, and a gap should hit it right in the mouth, and he got a gap short, and they hit the run, and they got the momentum back. We had chances to change it, but I was proud that we kept battling back on it. Now here's Kermit on a kick return, making the guy miss out to about the 22, though. They did a pretty good job for the most part, either kicking it out or containing them. They had a good special teams. Here we go. Throw a little screen route out, get good blocks by Izzo, and Auden Tate had a real nice job. Travis Rudolph, and they get a nice hit, but we get the ball out there. Nice little play. Had a little bootleg coming out. Flats covered, find our tight ends. We did a nice job, our quarterbacks did yesterday, of finding those tight ends. I believe they had about 150 yards receiving on the day. Those guys are good players. Here we go, find another one. Found another little naked to him out here. Just popped it, kept the run and naked and play actions down the field and tied it together. Here we got a little counter play. Got to stay outside, I think, right there. One that just got about 3 or 4 inside, but could have stayed outside and got just a few more. Here it is here. Now we bounce it outside. Now he makes him miss. And this is the one right here. Bobo got to finish that block. He let up, and then he bumps him. That's a questionable, but, it's right at it, and we're down there to score again, get a critical penalty. And then it makes us come back on 3rd and 7 right here. They get a twist pressure, and we're covered and have to throw it away. At least we didn't turn it. The good thing, we didn't turn it over on the day yesterday. Good punt right here. Got him down inside the 10-yard line. Pinned him back. Here they go with a little counter play. And we got a missed key over there. DeMarcus rushed upfield. He should have had a run key and powered the inside number and squeezed it down. He gave up the gap. And went to try. And that's when you start to do this, you start to press. Start to go try to do too much and make up. You just got to keep doing your job and doing it. Nice play by DeMarcus right there. Here they get a sprint out. They get a little rub route and create it. We should have had press on the guy, and he was playing off and too far inside. It created the rub. Nice play action. They have right here, find it down the middle. Play action to the linebackers. Linebackers got to have a run pass key. They showed a pass key. We got to get back in the middle and play that and carry that seam. Here we got to set the edge. Nice tackle right here by Derek Hoskins. Knocks him back. We set the edge finally when they turned up. We made the play. And this is one disappointing. Our D lineman, our Ian, stopped because he thought he had him tackled. They actually had an illegal pick over there on our guy, but it didn't matter. He ran the ball and got it. Nice play action. Good job right here over the top. Great throw and catch by DeAndre and Bobo. Get us started again right here. Like I said, we had no problem moving the football. We had to finish drive. Now I had a nice vertical route inside. Bobo caught it again. The Reeds just kept going that way. Weren't necessarily planned that way, just the way the defense was playing. Now he had a nice, he sprints, sees a run pass option, sees it, gets down, does a nice job of making a nice run. And we're getting some nice momentum here. Popping inside run, and there it is in the end. We finally finished the drive and got it back to 21-7, which was cute. Now, you're only two drives down now, or 2 plays down, really, when you look at it. And that's big and not 3 scores. Here they hit the edge. 24 has got to be outside. He's got to set the edge, and that's where he's got to be on that motion. He got caught up. Hit the inside zone right there. Got to make that play. Instead of getting about 5, we got to get about 2. Good job. I can't see who made that hit. Matthew. Nice job filling the gap right there. He and Trey Marshall. Getting pressure right here finally. See, that's the one right there. We got to come off on that. We had him in trap corner. Marquez sees, if he sees the hair quicker, that should be, we can pick that or collision that, and we just let it. It's just, here's a little naked route. Kyle Myers in the game at nickel and just took his eyes off of him and got caught on the run fake. Here they go, play action again, down the sideline. Thought they had a hold there, but there was a nice shot in the hole. Good job, little play action outside. Find it, we covered it, nice play right there. Who's that, Trey coming across? Kyle Myers broke it up. They hit now, big play, that's what I said. Matthew Thomas right there. Got to Jacob Pugh, gets a recovery. That's big, it's 21-7 still. We got it backed up with a minute to go, but they got 2 timeouts. If we go too quick, and we're trying to pop a run out here. If we can pop a run to the 20-25, possible face mask right there too. But, we could get in that. And on this counter, again, almost. But we just don't get out. And if we turn it over right there and punt it back to them and get with no time, and they got 2 timeouts, they go up 24-7, 28-7, and they got the ball second half. That game could be over right there real quick. And he's handed Dalvin, get out of the half. We had our opportunities on offense. Defense, we got to make some adjustments. We're still moving the ball very well. Got to come out, get a stop, and go get a score, which is exactly what we end up doing and started the second half very well. And all of a sudden, it's a 1-score game. We're right back in the football game. Yeah,
21-7 at intermission, and the defense had some struggles, obviously, but that was a huge play, big play of the first half to force that turnover with North Carolina.
It was. Matthew come off the edge on the blitz, and he knocked it and got it out, and we got it on the ground, and that's why I say they didn't finish the drive. They missed a 4th down conversion, didn't finish the drive, so both teams kind of left each other in the game a little bit, even though they were moving the ball up and down the field.
Florida State continues to move the ball up and down the field in the second half. We'll see those second half highlights in just a bit when we return right here on the Jimbo Fisher Show.
Florida State University has always strived for excellence and is constantly adapting to reach the highest quality standard year after year. With the guarantee of an ACC network looming in the not-too-distant future, the summer of 2016 was crucial to once again keeping Florida State ahead of the curve.
So I think that FSU is right back at the front, both on the production side of being able to handle multiple events and deliver content to ESPN, and with the video board being able to put out the HD signals and multiple camera angles and social media interaction and all the different aspects like that.
Over the past few seasons, Florida State football transformed both their uniforms and their logo, but no change was more drastic than that of the stadium as a whole. A process that began in December of 2015 and cost over $15 million. The brand new unveiling of Doak Campbell Stadium now features improvements to the video board, ribbon boards, and audio surround system in order to provide a better in-game experience.
The whole idea is to have an experience in the stadium that you can't get at home, but also be able to provide the information that people are used to seeing by sitting at home and watching it on television.
At 63 feet high, the newly installed video board in the north end zone will be the tallest and second largest overall scoreboard in college football, and now features the highest quality definition in the country.
This video board is going to give us a lot more real estate. So we're going to be able to put up a lot more stats, a lot more in-game, quarterback comparison type stuff. It'll be a lot easier to read for a lot of the fans.
In addition to the video board, 6 new ribbon boards have been installed and over 750 LED lights have been added in order to increase brightness, clarity, and overall resolution.
Certain boards have maybe out-of-town scores for a lot longer. Other boards will be showing comparisons between running backs or certain things that are going on in the game. There's field level boards. So there's a lot of stuff that the fans will see that they haven't seen before.
And with the new audio system allowing for a much clearer resonance, as well as an even distribution of sound to all areas within Doak Campbell Stadium, the Seminoles' home field advantage will be unparalleled.
As a matter of fact, the sound system's the best in the nation and the loudest in the nation. Most stadiums have one of the speakers that we have. We went ahead and got two.
And while the football team has garnered so much success on the field, Florida State's award-winning Seminole Productions has entirely revamped their whole operation.
Well, this year we're doing probably the largest expansion that we've ever done for the control rooms here. We've always relied on one control room and sort of half a control room to do overlap events. Now we're building out two completely new control rooms.
Although the fans may only see the image displayed or hear the improved clarity to the audio system, there are so many moving pieces that are unseen, and those incredibly important pieces also received an upgrade.
If you don't have that high-end engine, which we now put in the control rooms, then it still wouldn't look that great. Well, now we have the tools to make it look good.
And while the football team is usually the engine that drives Florida State fans from all over the nation to Doak Campbell Stadium, this time it's the renovations that have everyone's attention.
It's amazing. Like, you can see the lights all the way from FAMU. It's amazing, honestly.
The athletes understand that they have the top-tier talent in order to compete for a national championship, but there is no denying how thankful they are for everything the university has done for them in return.
Seeing how big the screen is, hearing how loud you could hear the speakers when they was testing them from the practice field, and it's like you actually in the stadium. We just got to come out and put on the show for the fans. The boosters in Florida State as a whole, they put all this money into the stadium, put it into us, and I feel like it's up to us to really give it back.
Welcome back to the Jimbo Fisher Show. Coach, your team was down 2 scores at the half and not getting the football coming out, which is a change. You've gotten the football coming out most of the time this year.
We do, and that's big. We had to get a stop, and we were able to get down there and get a stop, and they missed a field goal, long field goal, and then we were able to take the ball and score. And we actually scored. We had it 4 times the second half and scored 4 drives, and got us back in the football game. The defense had some critical stops. Here they get a bubble screen right here. We got to trap the corner. The corner's got to step inside and make that play. Same thing, right? We got to get that backer, get out, get a little bubble screen. Got to set the edge. Little play action, get it out wide. Got to play a little tighter, can't get quite so soft. About 5 yards instead of 7 or 8. Here they get a nice run, play action. Here we get the pressure. We almost got the strip right there. We got the fumble. DeMarcus got the sack and caused the fumble, and dadgummit, we couldn't get on that thing. But we ended up set them back on down distance. Here they got now actually had linemen downfield. They had guys 4 or 5 yards down the field. It was a naked run pass option, and but they get a naked out of it and get a few more yards. Here we get the blitz, Matthew misses it, but the rest of the guys are on top of it, Roderick and Josh Sweat. And we get the sack and get the stop and miss a 52-yard field goal right here. Misses it way right, and so we get the ball coming back. It's important, and we go get points. You go get points right now. As well as they played, we're still only 1 score. We get a nice stretch play, good blocking right there. You say Jacquez Patrick, Bobo Wilson, Ryan Izzo, Big Rod, those guys right here. Pop a little swing pass out here to Dalvin on the other side, getting the ball to the perimeter. Nice job. Could have been a late hit right there, but nice job. Just keep moving. How we had a little play action, throw a little fake double drag, and then hit the tight end on the backside on the throwback. And then Jacquez, I think he did hold right here. Right here, his right arm. He just needed to let the guy go. He had the guy going to the ground. He had him bumped. Watch his right arm. See him pull him right there just a tad, but I would have called it too. I thought it was a good call. Then we have to counterplay. But here's the bad thing. Can't have the tip of the ball down. We're lucky because it was a fumble, and he gets it back. He's got that tip down. He relaxed a hair. That ball's got to be high and tight inside. See that tip down? That allows space in the backside to come up and do it, and that can't happen. But he got in the end zone, made a nice run. Nice play by Matthew. They had a bad snap and knocked the ball down. It's 21-14 now. They're scrambling. We're in man coverage. Dadgummit, 29 right there, that's his man. He just got to stay right with it. We're in man. They both switched off on the screen underneath, and cause we had the pump plate. We're in man. A good job by Josh Sweat scrambling. Putting pressure on the quarterback, throws it out of bounds. Now we're starting to get some pressure and do some things. Here they go down the middle. Nice shot. They're moving the football, and this is the one that gets them back in because it's 21-14, and then they have it. We're lucky right here. That's very similar to the play we tried with Dalvin earlier. They threw it a little short. Our backer, 18, should have played it, and we're right on the wheel route. Now, we're in zero blitz. We should be setting 7 yards off. We're about 10, 11 and backpedaling. Can't do that. Got to squat because you know the ball's got to come out because you got too many blockers to we get a hold right here. 81 did do it. You see his right arm as he tugged on the guy. It's a good call. And didn't need to do it. We're pressing a little bit. Now right here is a screen. We're lucky we didn't get to say Brock's got it. Brock cuts it. This screen can go for a long way. He got to cut the end when he drops and do that. But then we press, come out of here, get 5 or 6 yards and get it out of the end zone. So we got punt room. Now on this next one, we almost make this. We get a little boot and hit a deep over route. If we could have pinned this backer, hadn't it came quite so much, and he could have got the ball up about another foot, we're going to pick up that 3rd and 26, and we get about 22 of it back, which is huge. Allows us to punt, and they come out to punt and get a roughing the punter. Great job by Logan right there to get that punt off real quick. Now we come back, play action. They played it. But again, when you play them all, you run off, leave the quarterback run, picks up 4 or 5 yards on the scramble. DeAndre made it start making really good decisions this way from right on out. Hit a little play at 4th down pickup right here. 4th and 2, we had a run pass option, run a counter with the quarterback outside, pick up a 4th down, hit it, get a little bootleg play action, got Bobo on the flat, got the guy coming over. Had a chance on the corner, but it was close. Nice job by Mal. I like the decision, though. Smart decision, just keep moving the sticks, moving the chains. 28-14, we're going to need a touchdown drive right here. Nice run right here, pop it out, and you can see Dalvin getting healthy, starting to drop that shoulder. And it makes it a 3-4 yard run instead of a 1 yard run. The shoulder's feeling really good. Everybody was worried about it. I said he was healthy. He just had to get in the groove of running. And the boy just got tripped up down to the 1. And we're still moving that football very well. Popping inside zone play. And he's inches again. They're wadding up and blitzing, but we're putting hats on a hat, man. Low line's doing a good job. Get a little bootleg, and then he run pass option. He keeps it, but down to that 1. Just keep pounding it. We're in 4 down territory. Now this is the one right here. He didn't need to dive. If he slides like he did on the next one, he's close getting in right there. That's where that was close, and he had a chance. But this, we run it again, just slide right to the right, just a little hole instead of going over the top. O-line did a great job over there. Brock Rubel and Landon Dickerson. You see Kareem Harpo and Freddie leading the play. Eberle on it, tight ends, Izzo, and those guys, they did a nice job. So it's 28-21, back to a 1-score game. Now defense does a great job, gets a sack. They're feeding off the momentum. Really good job by Derek Nottie. Play action. Now, just nice throw and catch, about 4 yards. Not much you can do on that. Here they go, playing it outside. See, they get confused, 28-21. They miss a 3rd down conversion, got good coverage. We come back, pop a little swing route. Get out here, Dalvin. There you go, get the edge. Good blocking by Izzo. Good job, Auden Tate, Travis Rudolph. We get the ball to the edge. Get a little play action naked, just find it. Just keep nickel and diming them down and run, throw, keep things going. Nice job by Ryan Izzo and the guys. Nice drop back. Found Bobo across the middle on a slant route. He got inside his guy on the backside. Just keep playing. Here we go. We're going to run it. Throw it, and he decides to run it. Again, 4 yards. Just staying ahead of the sticks. 2nd and 6, all that. Little counter play. Popping it right back in there, Dalvin, just getting that edge. Seeing it inside out. Nice job of blocking by the guys up front and our tight ends. Just keep pushing. Now we hit a stretch play. I love what Jockey. Drop that pads. That's a 3 yard run, but that's a good 3 yard run. And you're pounding, being physical. Here we go. Try to reverse. Now what we want to do is stick that right there. We get a legal cut block right there. We need to stick it for just 4 or 5. Just trying to, and the guard should have cut when he got to the edge. But we're just trying to get the ball on the perimeter. Here we have a screen underneath the Dalvin. Great job by Dickerson and Kareem getting out front. Dalvin set it up and came right underneath of him. We got a nice screen play. We're moving the ball down, try to tie it up. Here we go. Check the quarterback run. Needs to stay low. If he stays flatter, he'd get around the edge a little more. He's turned it up just a hair quick. But doing a good job of moving the chains. Here we pop an inside zone. They shot a backer, and we should have passed that off in the twist just like we did earlier. And but Dalvin, the guy over, he had to come from so far off to hit it. There's so much space. It's hard to tackle in there. And Dalvin makes a great spin, and we tie the game up right here. Now, this is disappointing. We get first play. Again, trap corner. Corner has to trap right there. And he should be hitting it right in the mouth for a loss. But we got to see it and do it. Didn't recognize it. Now they run quarterback counter just like we did. We block. We get on it. Nice job. Play action. This is the one disappointing. We're in and out. We had him doubled inside and out, and we got too high and let him get back outside. We had a guy inside. We had double coverage on him. And this is bad. Missed tackle 4, missed tackle 20, and we got to get down the sideline. Our pursuit's got to get there. That there is should have been a no gain, just a straight missed tackle, and Our guys, at the end of the game, you're on the field a lot, but this was critical. Didn't give up and went and got a blocked PAT. How about that? Can change the game. And we come back. This is the third down play. Hit Bobo on after we had the 2 penalties and was third and backed up. Great pickup. And this is that. We're checking at the square end. They brought blitz. They didn't pound Dalvin. He hits the check down. And here's Dalvin, just on a little normal old dump down route. Get 40 yards. Just keep managing. They had a late hit on the quarterback, so now we're at the 18-yard line with a minute and something to go. Can take the clock in the game. Nice third down pickup right here on the slant route to Travis Rudolph. And we're in the 6-yard line. Here we go. Play. We're working 1-2 at the third option in the back of the end zone. Odd, and they grab him and tackle him. So we get a thing. We're sprinting out. Got a run pass option. He stops. Great job of ducking under right there. We should have had the edge to get in there, but he gets in the first time. We didn't. It wasn't a fumble. We got back on it. But 35-34. It's a tremendous deal. And he's running, got a chance to throw it. See, right there, we should have had the edge blocked off. Brock gave it just a little bit. Brock played a heck of a game, but right there, need to get that edge. They get back. We didn't get deep. We should be setting it 14 yards deep on the square end on that backside. And our guy sets about 8. He just got shallow and didn't finish and gave him a seam right here. And right here, you can see it. He tugged him. He did. I mean, he got to stay inside on the leverage, and he tugged him and gave it to a 54-yard field goal. He just missed a 52, but he made a 54, and he made the one that mattered, and we lost it. And Larry, they got a really nice team. They did a great job, and Larry's a great guy. And they got a good football team. It was two hard-fought teams that went at it right there, and unfortunately we came out on the rack end, but we can look at all of our mistakes and the things in all 3 phases that we had our chances, and we got to get better, and we got to coach them better. And we all know we got issues. Everyone knows the issues. Now we just got to, we're the adults, we got to fix them and get it taken care of.
37-35 the final. And the big play in the second half, there really was a lot to choose from, but we'll go with the score that put you out in front. Just a terrific run for a redshirt freshman quarterback.
There really was. Run-pass option, and we give up a low edge pressure, and he stepped up. But you get athletes in space, and they can make people miss, and he does that. He can run, and he can throw it, and he's mature in his decision-making, his toughness. He's growing as a player and very happy with his progress, and just got to keep him going in the right direction.
It's time to turn the page now in North Carolina. Get set for the rivals from South Florida. We'll talk about the Miami Hurricanes when we come back right here on the Jimbo Fisher Show.
Today's final stats are presented by Nissan, proud supporter of college athletics. Shop ChooseNissan.com. Innovation that excites. Inside the Helmet is presented by Hyundai.
I'm Steven Gabbard. I'm a long snapper. This will be my junior year, and I'm from Tallahassee, Florida. It's awesome, man. Growing up here, going to the games, and just being a part of all this, it's still a dream to me. And it's something I don't think about now, but looking back on it, it'll be special. Ever since I can remember, I was holding the football. My dad played here, spent a little time in the NFL, NFL Europe. He never put any pressure on me to, follow in his footsteps or whatever. He just said, if you want to do it, do it. It was totally my decision, but I always felt from a young age that it was what I was supposed to do. Definitely my dad and my mom. They're just great people and great family, and it's just something I really aspire to bring into my life. They try to make it to every game, home and away, and that's just really special to me because I know not a lot of guys have that, and I try to not take that for granted because that's special. Well, I'm an avid fisherman. I try to go as much as possible. I just had to cover up the boat going into camp, put her away for a while, but back in spring and summer, I'll be hitting it hard. Jack Steed, our transfer punter from Oklahoma, the first time we took him, we went fishing on this reef out of St. Mars. It was like 40 feet of water, and we weren't catching a whole lot. And I was like, let's go see what's down there. So he's like, what do you mean? And put the mask on, dove down, looked for some fish, and when I came up, his face was like, what in the world? He had never seen anything like that, so I gave him a little dose of Florida. It's something where if nobody really knows you, you're doing your job, and it's something that if you're expected to be perfect every time, and if you're a little bit off, you know, it's not acceptable. And with a lot of those other guys, they get a lot of reps, you know, so if they miss a rep here and there, they'll get yelled at, but it won't be as bad as, you know, a kicker or a long snapper punter missing a rep. So that's kind of the territory that comes with being a specialist. We did such a great job at Godby preparing me, you know, and being able to walk right in. You know, I got here, I was 17. You know, I was still a kid. You know, I fell right in. Obviously, very high pressure. You're expected as soon as you walk on to perform. You know, Godby kind of prepared me for that, and I was ready.
Nole Insiders Chalk Talk here with quarterback Sean McGuire. Sean, today we're going to talk about calling an audible. At what point in your career is that something you felt comfortable doing at the line of scrimmage?
You know, it's something that we're taught, obviously, when we're young, especially to make side adjustments when blitzes are coming. You know, it takes a couple times, you know, obviously to get used to it without even thinking about it.
Go ahead and let's get to the board. Just put up a play.
Say we got two rider protection, which is a six-man protection. Say if we just had a normal play call, what we call Seattle, which is three verticals, and then back second down right here. So we would declare Mike right on this, which is the line would be responsible. These four would be responsible for the 4 down linemen and the mic, and the back will have first bats right here. So what we call was, you know, obviously always people in the stands always see us pointing out and everything, and you know sometimes people might not know, but it's for, you know, if the strong safety's coming down or someone in the box, and all of a sudden we realized that since we got 2 rider 6-man protection, which was sliding to the mic, we can't handle one pass to mic to the side away from the back. So we would, you know, give a double point that way, which would tell the receivers, right, these 2 guys, you know, they point back, make sure that it gets communicated. And if the strong safety comes and the mic blitzes, instead of running these verticals, which would take a long time to get to, you know, we would side adjust and run something. He would stay on a vertical. He would, depending on the week or the game plan and the type of defenses we face to blitzes, it would either be what we call a hawk route, which is a 4-step out, or, you know, we'd get like a double slam type concept. So that's pretty much how to get the side adjustment.
When you have a bunch of veteran receivers out there, is it you guys are on the same page on this pretty much right away?
It's a lot easier, obviously, you know, with guys like Travis, Bobo, and Rudolph who've been out there and seen it. So, you know, it's a lot easier with them.
All right, well, thanks for taking time with us today, Sean.
No problem.
We'll see you next time with Chalk Talk.
The Look Ahead is presented by Florida Farm Bureau Insurance. Register to win a football fantasy experience at NolesContest.com.
Welcome back to the Jimbo Fisher Show, Coach. It's Florida State Miami week. Really don't need to say much more than that. It's going to be a primetime 8 o'clock game down in South Florida. Unique, or new twist, I should say, and that Mark Richt, who obviously was at Florida State at one point. You faced him in the SEC when you were with LSU. He's now the head coach with Miami.
Yeah, doing a great job. They're 4-0. Had a good win last week against Georgia Tech. Got challenged in the end and really came back and played well. And they're throwing it well. They're running it, playing really good. They're high up there, one of the tops in the country in defense, and doing a great job.
Well, and this continues a trend, but it's another really good quarterback that you're going to face with Brad Kai, who's now his 3rd year as a starting quarterback for the Canes.
Yes, he is. And when you have good quarterbacks, they usually have good offense, but they're running the football extremely well too. And on kicking game, they're sound. Defense, like I say, real high flying. So, I mean, it's hopefully be another great Florida State-Miami matchup for sure. There's no doubt.
Well, and Coach Richt obviously brought in a new staff there, and his defensive coordinator used to be at Florida State as well, and Manny Diaz.
Yeah.
What are they doing defensively now?
They just the same stuff. They're a 4-3 team, mix a little 3-4, no blitzing at times, and bring a lot of blitz packages, but then also back out and play the regular stuff. I mean, he's a really good coordinator, does a good job of mixing things around and mixing his pressures, mixing his coverages, and does a nice job.
Florida State and Miami coming up at 8 o'clock for a Saturday night from South Florida. We'll step aside, come back with some final thoughts after this on the Jimbo Fisher Show.
We're inside the Nutrition Center here at Florida State. We've got Jake Blattner, a registered dietitian here, and we're going to talk about recovery smoothies here today. What is the importance of a smoothie?
You know, importance of the smoothie. You know, we get to talk to our athletes a lot. You know, they come to us, talk to us in our office, say, you know, what can I eat before practice, during practice, after practice, you know, get to that competitive edge. Essentially, a lot of athletes will say, you know, do I need any special magical thing to help with that recovery, help get protein in my body? And, you know, the simple answer is no. We can get it directly through our foods that we eat, and we can get good, complete proteins through those sources.
So instead of adding all those extra stuff, what is important then to put into your smoothie?
Yep, so baseline-wise, we definitely want to get a good mix of carb and protein ratio. So essentially, a baseline, you'll want to choose something like a milk, a soy milk. You could even choose like an orange juice. So with milk or soy milk, you're getting some proteins from those, both complete proteins, so they'll help with that repair. Today we'll start with a cup of skim milk, getting about 8 grams of protein in there, so perfect for recovery. Then we also have just some Greek yogurt, vanilla flavored, about 10 grams of protein with that as well, so already up to 18. And we like to see about 20 to 30 grams post-workout, depending upon the size of the athlete, their goals, and what they're looking to do with their body. So 20 to 30 grams, somewhere in that range. So as you can see with just milk and yogurt, we're already up to 18, so great start.
Is that good enough for someone that's just like me that maybe gets a workout 4 to 5 times a week?
Yeah, definitely. It's great for the average individual. You know, I'd like to see you, you know, have a full meal afterwards, but it's great for our athletes here at Florida State.
Now we go to the fruits.
Yes, fruits also important for muscle glycogen. So when we're working out, we're using muscle sugars, and fruit will help replace those muscle sugars for us. And then we also have some chia seeds, so it adds a little bit of protein and some fats to there. There's some omega-3s in there.
So this is one of the boosts. There's many options as far as boosts. You got flax seeds, cherries. I guess what's the differences between some of these options?
They all have their benefits out there. So with chia seeds, you know, you're getting a little more protein, some fiber. Those omega-3s, it's my personal favorite. Omega-3s help with a thing called DOMS effect, so that muscle soreness you feel, you know, right after that leg day.
Right.
Helps with that. Also has a little bit of protein as well. Stuff like spinach, you're going to be getting your iron, your fiber. Tart cherry juice has some anthocyanins in it, so when we work out, we're getting breakdown, tear down, so it helps keep those under control and gets us ready for that next weight room session.
Okay, so we've got the milk, we've got the yogurt, the fruit, the ice, and then the seeds.
Yep, and if you want to make it a strawberry banana, you can add a banana. Okay. Add a little bit of carbohydrate. Give it a quick blend, and we're good.
And this is good. This is not something that you want as far as a full meal. It's just something to hold you in between meals.
Yep, it's a nice little in between. So it's not meant as a meal replacement. It's just meant a little snack in between.
Well, it's perfect for you right after a workout. You can follow the sports nutrition staff at FSU Fuel on Twitter and Instagram. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you next time.
Coach, as you get set for Miami, you're at the point now with 2 losses on the season that you, I don't know if refocus is the right word, but players need to play for each other. You were asked about this after the game. Play for pride, play for the name on the uniform, that sort of thing.
That's what you should play for anyway. Goals aren't the reason you play the game. Goals are rewards for what you achieve. You play the game because of who you are as a person, what you do, what you stand for, the name on the front of your jersey, the name on the back, and then for each other. And that's the way you do. You always play the game. I mean, you never play for the goals. Those are just things out there that you put that you want to reach, and because you love to play football. And we'll do that. I think our kids, like I say, they were hurt after the game, no doubt, and they'll come back, and I expect them to practice real well and play real well this week.
And I know as a coaching staff, you'll continue to work with them. There's lots that can be cleaned up defensively, also offensively. The 13 penalties I know don't make you happy as you go into this week.
No, we don't. Had motion penalties, had a couple holds on there that were holds. And you know, we overcame some, we didn't overcome some. And that's why I say you don't know what drive or what play changes a game. And you got to do things right. If you play fast, put your feet in the right position, you usually don't get those penalties.
Everybody knows that there's always a lot of great football players from South Florida. You've always got several on your team, guys like Dalvin Cook and whatnot. That's part of what makes this rivalry special. When you
it is, because it's an interstate rivalry. These guys have played against each other all the way through their whole lives, and Pop Warner and Optimist and all the different things. And there's a lot of pride in it for them and a great competition.
Should be another fun game as we add a chapter to the rivalry that is Florida State and Miami. We'll have the highlights next week right here on the Jimbo Fisher Show, and we'll see you then. This has been the Jimbo Fisher Show, brought to you by the Florida Lottery, over $30 billion and counting to education. Just imagine. The energy-saving conservation programs of Tico People's Gas. Coca-Cola, try a game changer of your own. Taste the feeling. SunTrust, the official bank of Florida State Athletics. And by Nick's Toggery, provider of Coach Fisher's wardrobe.